Stop what you are doing and look at this map. The calm weather you might be seeing out your window right now is a lie. A massive atmospheric gear shift is grinding into motion at this very second, and it is about to unleash a multi-day severe weather siege that will impact over 200 million Americans. If you live anywhere from the Rocky Mountains to the Atlantic coast, your forecast just changed, and the data we are seeing for the next 7 days is alarming. You need to know exactly when this hits your driveway. In the next 30 seconds, I am going to show you why a collision between Arctic air and Gulf moisture is creating a breeding ground for tornadoes, damaging winds, and flash flooding. And I will give you the precise timing for your city. But first, here is the reward I promised. If you are in Dallas, Fort Worth, or Oklahoma City, your clock is ticking faster than anyone else's. By Wednesday afternoon, you are in the bullseye. But for those of you in the Northeast, do not get comfortable because winter has one last nasty surprise for you starting tonight. This is not just a rainstorm. This is a complete pattern overhaul. We are tracking a 99.5 millibar low-pressure system that is about to eject out of the Rockies and turn the Great Plains into a wind tunnel. We are talking about dew points surging into the 60s, a level of moisture that is basically rocket fuel for thunderstorms in March. And when you combine that with jet stream winds screaming at over 50 to 60 knots just a few miles above your head, you get a volatile cocktail that can spin up tornadoes in a matter of minutes. Why is this happening now? We are seeing a massive ridge of high pressure building over the eastern United States. This is going to act like a heat dome, pushing temperatures 20 to 30 degrees above average. I am talking about widespread 70s and 80s in areas that should still be shivering in the 30s. But here is the catch. That heat is unstable. As cold air tries to punch into that warm sector from the west, the atmosphere is going to snap. We are looking at a threat that evolves day by day, getting progressively more dangerous as we head into the weekend. And I am going to walk you through it mile by mile, hour by hour. But before we dive into the deep analytics, I need you to do one thing. Go to the comment section right now and type in the name of your town and state. Our team is monitoring the comments to refine our localized forecasts, and by knowing where you are, we can better warn you when the red zones shift in your direction. Do it now because the timeline is tight. Let us start with the immediate threat happening right now. It is a tale of two seasons. While the South is baking, the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic are about to take a punch from winter. A system is sliding through West Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania as we speak. If you are in the higher elevations of West Virginia, winter storm warnings are already up. We are seeing snow accumulation potential of 3 to 5 inches in the highlands. For places like Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Philadelphia, this is going to be a messy, raw, and miserable transition. Expect rain switching to wet snow later this evening. It might only be an inch or two or just a coating on the grass, but the roads will be slick and visibility will drop rapidly. This system is fast-moving, but it is deceptive. Do not let your guard down on the roads tonight. But that is just the appetizer. The main course is developing out west, and this is where the numbers get scary. By Wednesday, a powerful shortwave trough moves into the Central Plains. The Storm Prediction Center has already issued a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. This includes a massive chunk of real estate from Waco, Texas, all the way up to Fort Smith, Arkansas. If you are in this corridor, you need to be weather aware starting Wednesday shortly after lunch. Let us look at the ingredients. We have a low-level jet stream kicking in at around 30 to 40 knots. Imagine a river of wind flowing just a mile above the ground, transporting deep moisture from the Gulf of Mexico right into the heart of the country. This low-level jet is the engine that drives severe storms. It does two things. It pumps in the fuel, which is the moisture, and it creates wind shear. Wind shear is the change in wind speed and direction with height. When you have winds at the surface blowing from the south and winds up high blowing from the southwest, it creates a twisting motion in the atmosphere. That twist is what allows thunderstorms to rotate. And a rotating thunderstorm is a supercell, the type of storm that produces the largest hail and the most violent tornadoes. Wednesday afternoon, we expect storm initiation in Oklahoma and North Texas. These storms could start as discrete cells. That means they are separated from each other, not in a line. Discrete cells are dangerous because they have no competition for energy. They can grow massive, dropping hail the size of golf balls or larger. As the evening progresses, these storms might merge into clusters, bringing a damaging wind threat into Arkansas and southern Missouri. But here is the twist that the models are just now picking up on. The moisture return is more robust than we initially thought. We are seeing dew points in the 60s pushing much further north than usual for early March. This means the instability, or CAPE, which stands for Convective Available Potential Energy, is going to be higher. Higher CAPE means stronger updrafts. Stronger updrafts mean the storms can punch higher into the atmosphere, creating larger hail cores and increasing the lightning frequency. Now let us move to Thursday. You might think the threat would diminish, but it simply reloads. The focus shifts slightly west and north. We are looking at another level 2 risk area for southwestern Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. Cities like Abilene, San Angelo, and Big Spring are under the gun. The upper-level energy on Thursday is a bit more scattered, but the thermodynamics are still in place. This is a multi-day siege. It is not one and done. You cannot let your guard down just because Wednesday passed without incident at your house. The atmosphere is primed and ready to explode again on Thursday afternoon. And then comes Friday. This is where things escalate significantly. A new, deeper low-pressure system, forecasted to be around 995 millibars, blasts off the Rocky Mountains and into the central high plains. A pressure drop that significant acts like a vacuum, sucking warm, moist air northward at an accelerated rate. The Storm Prediction Center has highlighted a massive area for Friday, stretching from southern Iowa all the way down to Texas. This includes Kansas City, Tulsa, Wichita, and back down to Dallas. Friday is concerning because the wind fields are stronger. The mid-level jet stream will be roaring at 80 to 90 knots. When you have upper-level support that strong, it vents the storms, allowing them to breathe and sustain themselves for hours. We could be looking at long-track storms on Friday. The shear profiles on Friday support a mix of supercells and bowing segments. Bowing segments are lines of storms that bow out like an Archer S-bow, indicating extremely high winds pushing from behind. We are talking gusts of 60, 70, perhaps even 80 miles per hour. Winds of that magnitude can snap power lines, uproot old trees, and tear shingles off roofs. But wait, there is a hidden danger on Friday that people are ignoring: the flash flood threat. With dew points in the 60s and a stalled frontal boundary, some of these storms will train over the same areas. Train, like a freight train, one car after another. If you get 3 or 4 heavy thunderstorms passing over your house in a 6-hour period, your drainage systems will fail. We are looking at potential rainfall totals of 3 to 5 inches in a corridor from northeast Texas into central Arkansas. The ground is already saturated in some of these places. It will not take much to turn streets into rivers. Saturday appears to be the climax of this particular sequence. The system slows down and digs in. The instability axis shifts east. We are watching a potential outbreak setup for the Mississippi Valley and the Deep South. The models are showing a classic severe weather look, with a surface low tracking to the north and a trailing cold front sweeping through the south. This puts places like Memphis, Nashville, Shreveport, and Jackson in a vulnerable position. The specific mode of severe weather on Saturday is still coming into focus, but early indications suggest a high damaging wind threat and embedded tornadoes within a squall line. I promised you I would fulfill a major commitment at the 5-minute mark, and here it is. This is the breakdown of the Saturday scenario that no one else is talking about. While everyone is focused on the rain, the wind field on Saturday is going to be immense, even outside of thunderstorms. The pressure gradient, the difference in pressure between the high to the east and the low to the west, will be so tight that 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts will be common from Ohio to Alabama, even with sunny skies. But when the storms arrive Saturday evening, that background wind energy gets focused. If you have large trees near your home, Saturday is the day to be worried about them. The soil will be soft from rain and the wind will be relentless. Now let us get into the granular details. I am going to give you a forecast for over 270 specific locations. I will break this down by region and timing so you can plan your week. Listen for your city or the city nearest to you. This is your specific timeline for when the weather turns on you. We will start with the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic because you are dealing with the immediate impact of the departing winter system and the incoming warmth. In Boston, Massachusetts, expect raw conditions with rain showers beginning Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m. Temperatures will hover in the low 40s. The rain clears by Wednesday morning, leading to a rapid warm-up. By Thursday, Boston hits 55 degrees. In Worcester, Massachusetts, expect a mix of rain and wet snow starting Tuesday at 4 p.m. Accumulation of a slushy inch is possible on grassy surfaces. Roads will be slick Tuesday night. In Providence, Rhode Island, heavy rain begins Tuesday at 3 p.m. Peak rainfall is from 6 p.m. to midnight Tuesday. Watch for ponding on Interstate 95. In Hartford, Connecticut, rain develops Tuesday at 1 p.m. It could end as a brief period of wet snow early Wednesday morning before dawn. No significant accumulation. In New Haven, Connecticut, a cold rain dominates Tuesday evening. Winds gusting to 25 miles per hour off the Long Island Sound. In New York City, specifically Manhattan and the boroughs, rain starts Tuesday at noon. It becomes heavy by the evening commute at 5 p.m. Expect travel delays. Wednesday clears out and temperatures shoot up to 60 degrees by Thursday. In Long Island, New York, wind and rain are the story for Tuesday night. Gusts up to 30 miles per hour, clearing Wednesday. In Albany, New York, you are colder. Snow mixes in Tuesday night at 8 p.m. 1 to 2 inches of accumulation is possible, especially in the hill towns surrounding the Capital District. In Buffalo, New York, you miss most of the coastal mess, but you will see scattered lake-enhanced showers Tuesday. Your big story is the warmth arriving Friday, pushing temperatures near 60. In Rochester, New York, cloudy and cool Tuesday. Rain chances increase late Thursday night as the next system approaches. In Syracuse, New York, a wintry mix is possible Tuesday night, making for a slippery Wednesday morning commute. Then the spring thaw begins. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, heavy rain Tuesday evening. Watch for urban flooding in low-lying areas. Wednesday is breezy and mild. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, showers arrive Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday brings a break, but rain returns Thursday night. In Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, rain changes to a brief period of wet snow Tuesday night around 10 p.m. Little to no accumulation on pavement. In Baltimore, Maryland, a cold, miserable rain Tuesday. 1 to 2 inches of total rainfall expected, clearing Wednesday with highs rebounding into the 60s by Thursday. In Washington, D.C., rain starts late morning Tuesday. The heaviest rain falls between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. Tuesday. Wednesday is sunny and breezy. By Friday, D.C. could flirt with 70 degrees. In Richmond, Virginia, rain Tuesday, heavy at times. Wednesday is beautiful. Thursday is even better, with highs in the mid-70s. In Norfolk, Virginia, rain Tuesday evening. Windy conditions on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Wednesday through Friday looks dry and unseasonably warm. In Charleston, West Virginia, winter storm warnings are in effect for the higher terrain to your east. For the city, expect rain mixing with snow Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures crash tonight but rebound quickly. By Saturday, Charleston could hit 80 degrees, which is absolutely unheard of for early March. Now let us move to the southeast. You are about to experience a false summer, but it comes with a price. In Atlanta, Georgia, you are dry for now. Tuesday is cool, Wednesday warms up. By Friday and Saturday, you are in the mid to upper 70s. Rain and storm chances return late Saturday night. In Savannah, Georgia, expect widespread 80s by Friday. It will feel like late May. Pollen counts will explode. In Augusta, Georgia, sunny and warm through Friday. Highs reaching 82 degrees on Saturday. In Athens, Georgia, mild and pleasant. Perfect outdoor weather until Sunday, when storm chances increase. In Columbus, Georgia, warm and breezy. Wind gusts of 20 miles per hour possible on Friday as the pressure gradient tightens. In Macon, Georgia, mostly sunny and very warm. High near 80 on Friday. In Jacksonville, Florida, dry and warm. Highs in the 80s all week. Beach weather in March. In Miami, Florida, standard tropical warmth. Highs in the low 80s, no severe threat for you this week. In Tampa, Florida, sunny and warm. Highs near 85 by the weekend. In Orlando, Florida, dry and hot, approaching 90 degrees by Saturday in some inland spots. In Tallahassee, Florida, warm but watch for fog in the mornings. Rain chances hold off until Sunday. In Birmingham, Alabama, rain returns late Friday night. Saturday looks wet and stormy with a potential severe threat developing in the evening. In Huntsville, Alabama, mild through Thursday. Storms likely Saturday afternoon. Damaging winds are the primary threat. In Mobile, Alabama, humid and warm, sea fog possible. Storms arrive Sunday morning. In Montgomery, Alabama, mostly cloudy but warm Friday. Rain and thunderstorms likely Saturday night. In Jackson, Mississippi, severe weather risk increases Saturday afternoon. Have a way to receive warnings. Highs in the 70s. In Biloxi, Mississippi, warm and muggy. Dew points rising into the 60s by Thursday. In Nashville, Tennessee, showers possible Thursday. The main event is Saturday. Strong to severe storms could impact the city Saturday evening. In Memphis, Tennessee, you are in the risk zone for Saturday. Damaging winds and hail are possible. Keep an eye on the forecast for Saturday afternoon. In Knoxville, Tennessee, mostly dry until the weekend. Saturday night brings rain and thunder. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, mild and pleasant midweek. Storms arrive late Saturday. In Charlotte, North Carolina, rain clears Tuesday morning. Then a massive warm-up, highs near 80 by Saturday. In Raleigh, North Carolina, rain ends early Tuesday. Sunny and 70 by Thursday. In Wilmington, North Carolina, breezy and warm late week. Highs in the 70s. In Greensboro, North Carolina, clearing skies Tuesday. Warm surge begins Wednesday. In Asheville, North Carolina, cooler in the mountains, but still well above average. Rain returns Saturday night. In Columbia, South Carolina, rain exits Tuesday, highs hitting 80 by Friday. In Charleston, South Carolina, dry and warm. A great week for outdoor activities until Sunday. In Greenville, South Carolina, rain ends Tuesday, mild and dry until the weekend system approaches. Now we shift to the deep south and the southern plains. This is the danger zone. This is where the severe weather engine is firing on all cylinders. In Dallas, Texas, you are under a slight risk of severe weather Wednesday. Storms could fire after 3 p.m. Large hail is the main threat. Thursday brings another round. Friday creates a third round. It is a multi-day severe weather event. Keep your vehicles under cover if possible. In Fort Worth, Texas, same timing as Dallas. Wednesday late afternoon is the first window for supercells. In Arlington, Texas, be alert for hail Wednesday evening. In Plano, Texas, storm chances increase Wednesday afternoon. In Waco, Texas, the cap might break Wednesday afternoon. If it does, explosive storm development is possible. Large hail is likely. In Austin, Texas, warm and humid. Storm chances are lower than Dallas, but isolated severe storms are possible Thursday and Friday. In San Antonio, Texas, mostly cloudy and warm, highs in the 80s. A stray storm is possible Friday. In Houston, Texas, very humid. Dew points in the 60s and 70s. Capping inversion should hold off most storms, but if one breaks through on Friday, it will be severe. In Galveston, Texas, sea fog is likely. Breezy conditions Friday and Saturday. In Amarillo, Texas, you are behind the dry line on Wednesday, so it will be dry and windy. But Thursday, the moisture retreats west, putting you in the risk for storms. In Lubbock, Texas, dry and windy Wednesday. Fire danger is high. Storm chances return Thursday evening. In Midland, Texas, windy and warm. Slight chance of storms Thursday. In Odessa, Texas, similar to Midland, watch for high winds and blowing dust. In Abilene, Texas, significant severe risk on Thursday. Large hail and damaging winds are the primary threats. In Wichita Falls, Texas, you are in the bullseye for Wednesday and Thursday. Supercells are possible both days. In El Paso, Texas, dry, sunny, and windy. No severe storms expected, but fire danger is critical. In Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Wednesday is a weather alert day. Storms developing in the afternoon could produce hail up to 2 inches in diameter. Thursday and Friday also carry severe risks. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, heavy rain and severe storms possible. Wednesday night into Thursday morning, flash flooding is a concern here. In Norman, Oklahoma, severe storms possible Wednesday afternoon. Tornado risk is low, but not zero. In Lawton, Oklahoma, high risk for large hail Wednesday afternoon. In Fayetteville, Arkansas, heavy rain and storms Wednesday night. Flooding is possible in low-lying areas. In Fort Smith, Arkansas, severe weather risk Wednesday night. Damaging winds are the main concern. In Little Rock, Arkansas, heavy rain likely late Wednesday into Thursday. Severe storms possible Friday and Saturday. In Jonesboro, Arkansas, rain heavy at times Thursday. Storms likely Saturday. In Texarkana, Arkansas, severe storms possible Wednesday night and again on Friday. Moving into the Midwest and Ohio Valley, you are the battleground where the seasons are clashing. In St. Louis, Missouri, showers starting Wednesday, thunderstorms likely Friday and Saturday. Severe risk is increasing for Saturday afternoon. In Kansas City, Missouri, rain and storms Thursday and Friday. Some storms on Friday could be severe with damaging winds. In Springfield, Missouri, heavy rain possible Wednesday night through Friday. Watch for flooding on low water crossings. In Columbia, Missouri, cool rain Thursday. Warmer with storms Friday. In Jefferson City, Missouri, storms likely Friday afternoon. In Chicago, Illinois, cool and cloudy Tuesday. Rain moves in late Wednesday. Thursday is wet. Friday could see thunderstorms, but the severe risk stays mostly to your south. In Springfield, Illinois, rain likely Thursday. Thunderstorms on Friday could bring small hail. In Peoria, Illinois, wet weather dominates the second half of the week. In Indianapolis, Indiana, rain begins Wednesday. A soaking rain is expected Thursday. Thunderstorms are possible Saturday. In Fort Wayne, Indiana, cool and rainy Thursday. In Evansville, Indiana, severe weather risk increases Saturday. Heavy rain likely. In Columbus, Ohio, rain arrives late Wednesday. Thursday is wet. Saturday brings a chance of strong storms. In Cincinnati, Ohio, heavy rain possible Thursday. Saturday is the day to watch for strong winds and thunderstorms. In Cleveland, Ohio, rain Thursday, breezy and mild Saturday. In Dayton, Ohio, wet Thursday, stormy Saturday. In Toledo, Ohio, cool rain Thursday. In Detroit, Michigan, mostly cloudy Tuesday. Rain arrives Thursday. Temperatures stay in the 40s and 50s. In Grand Rapids, Michigan, rain showers Thursday. Friday looks drier but cool. In Lansing, Michigan, clouds and showers late week. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, rain likely Thursday. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, cool and quiet for now. Rain chances increase Thursday. In Madison, Wisconsin, showers likely Thursday. In Green Bay, Wisconsin, a mix of rain and snow is possible Tuesday night, then mostly cloudy. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, quiet weather this week. Highs in the 40s, rain possible late week but nothing significant. In St. Paul, Minnesota, similar to Minneapolis, dry and seasonal. In Duluth, Minnesota, chilly. Highs in the 30s, chance of light snow Tuesday night. In Rochester, Minnesota, mostly cloudy and cool. In Des Moines, Iowa, rain likely Thursday. Thunderstorms possible Friday. In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, rain Thursday and Friday. In Davenport, Iowa, rain and thunderstorms Friday. This is only the first half of the list. We haven't even touched the West Coast or the Northern Plains yet, and the specific timing for the weekend outbreak needs more detail. The pattern is complex, and the devil is in the details. We are continuing the rapid-fire breakdown. If you are just joining, we are tracking a volatile pattern change that brings a multi-day severe weather threat to the heart of the country. I have covered the East and the South. Now, let us turn to the Northern Plains and the High Plains. You might think you are safe from the severe weather, but you are dealing with a different beast entirely. In Sioux Falls, South Dakota, expect a quiet but cool week, highs in the 40s. Rain moves in Thursday night, but no severe weather is expected. In Rapid City, South Dakota, windy conditions develop Wednesday as the low pressure deepens to your south. Gusts could hit 40 miles per hour. In Fargo, North Dakota, winter is holding on, highs in the 30s. Light snow is possible Tuesday night, but accumulation will be minimal. In Bismarck, North Dakota, chilly and dry, highs near freezing. In Grand Forks, North Dakota, similar story. Cold air is entrenched, keeping you insulated from the chaos to the south. In Omaha, Nebraska, rain develops Thursday. Thunderstorms are possible Friday. Severe risk is low, but lightning is a hazard. In Lincoln, Nebraska, showers and storms likely Thursday night. In Wichita, Kansas, you are on the northern fringe of the severe risk. Thursday and Friday bring chances for hail and strong winds. In Topeka, Kansas, rain likely Thursday. Thunderstorms Friday could produce gusty winds. In Dodge City, Kansas, high wind warning criteria could be met Thursday. Blowing dust may reduce visibility on Highway 50. In Garden City, Kansas, dry but extremely windy. Fire danger is critical on Wednesday. Now to the Mountain West and the Rockies. This is where the energy originates. In Denver, Colorado, you have been in a snow drought. March is typically your snowiest month, but this system is taking a track that keeps you mostly dry and windy. Highs in the 50s, dropping to the 40s late week. In Colorado Springs, Colorado, windy and dry. Fire weather watch possible Wednesday. In Pueblo, Colorado, very windy conditions expected midweek. In Boulder, Colorado, downslope winds could gust over 50 miles per hour Wednesday night. In Cheyenne, Wyoming, high wind warning likely. Gusts on Interstate 80 could exceed 60 miles per hour, creating a blow over risk for high-profile vehicles. In Casper, Wyoming, windy and cool. Snow showers restricted to the higher elevations. In Salt Lake City, Utah, a system crossing the Rockies brings mountain snow Tuesday. The valleys will see rain mixing with snow, but impacts will be minor. In Boise, Idaho, cool and unsettled. Showers likely Tuesday and Wednesday. In Helena, Montana, light snow showers possible in the mountains. Valley floors remain mostly dry. In Billings, Montana, breezy and cool, highs in the 40s. In Missoula, Montana, rain and snow mix possible Tuesday. Let us hit the southwest. You are feeling the heat before the storm. In Phoenix, Arizona, sunny and warm, highs in the 70s, no rain expected. In Tucson, Arizona, warm and dry, perfect hiking weather, but carry water. In Flagstaff, Arizona, cool and breezy. Snow levels remain above 7,000 feet. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, windy conditions Wednesday and Thursday. High fire danger is the main story here. In Santa Fe, New Mexico, breezy and cool. In Las Vegas, Nevada, sunny but windy midweek, gusts to 30 miles per hour on the Strip. In Reno, Nevada, cool and unsettled. Snow showers in the Sierra Nevada, and finally, the West Coast. In Seattle, Washington, standard March weather. Rain showers Tuesday and Wednesday, clearing late week. In Tacoma, Washington, rain likely. In Spokane, Washington, cool with scattered showers. In Portland, Oregon, rain tapers off Tuesday night, dry for the second half of the week. In Eugene, Oregon, showers ending. In Medford, Oregon, mostly dry and cool. In San Francisco, California, partly cloudy. Dry for now. In Los Angeles, California, sunny and pleasant. Highs in the 60s. In San Diego, California, morning clouds clearing to sun. In Sacramento, California, dry and mild. In Fresno, California, patch morning fog, then sunny. That covers the immediate forecast for the major population centers. But now we need to talk about the science behind the weekend threat, because the models are showing something that has me concerned. We are looking at a classic kinematics versus thermodynamics battle. Thermodynamics refers to the energy, the instability, the heat and moisture that fuels storms. Kinematics refers to the wind shear, the turning of the winds with height that organizes those storms. Usually early in the season you have great shear but poor moisture, or you have great moisture but no shear. This weekend, specifically Saturday, we are seeing an overlap of both. The European model and the GFS model are both signaling a large-scale event. Here is the setup for Saturday. A low-pressure center will likely be situated over Missouri or Illinois. To the south of that low, a cold front will drape down through Arkansas into Texas. Ahead of that cold front, a warm front will lift north into Tennessee and Kentucky. This warm sector is the danger zone. We are talking about a massive area of dew points in the 60s. This is rare for early March. To put this in perspective, a 60-degree dew point means the air is holding a significant amount of water vapor. When that air rises and cools, it releases latent heat, which acts like an afterburner for the thunderstorm updraft. But the real kicker is the low-level jet. I mentioned this earlier, but I need to explain why Saturday night is particularly dangerous. The low-level jet often strengthens after sunset. It is called the nocturnal jet. We could see winds at 5,000 feet screaming at 50 to 60 knots Saturday night over Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. This does two things. First, it pumps heat and moisture north, keeping the atmosphere unstable even after the sun goes down. Second, it enlarges the hodographs. A hodograph is a chart meteorologists use to visualize wind shear. When the low-level jet cranks up at night, the hodographs become curved and large. This environment supports tornadoes that are rain-wrapped and hidden in the dark. This is why I need you to have a plan for Saturday night. Do not rely on visual confirmation. If you are in Memphis, Nashville, Huntsville, or Birmingham, you might not see the tornado coming. You will only hear it or see the power flashes. You need a NOAA weather radio, and you need to make sure your phone alerts are turned on. Let us look deeper at the moisture return. The Gulf of Mexico is open for business. We have had a persistent southerly flow that has primed the pump. The data shows a connection of moisture extending from the Yucatan Peninsula all the way to the Ohio River. This atmospheric river is going to interact with the cold front on Saturday to produce not just severe weather, but a flooding threat. The Weather Prediction Center is forecasting widespread rainfall totals of 2 to 3 inches across the Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley. But in localized areas where thunderstorms repeat or train, we could see totals double that. 4 to 6 inches of rain in a 12-hour period is possible in parts of Kentucky and southern Indiana. If you live near a creek or a stream that rises quickly, you need to be watching the water levels Saturday night. Now, I want to address a specific feature that appeared on the latest model run. It is a dry line punch. On Friday, out in the southern plains, specifically Oklahoma and Texas, a dry line will sharpen up. To the west of the line, the air is desert dry. To the east, it is swampy. When the dry line punches east in the afternoon, it acts like a bulldozer, forcing the moist air upward violently. This is the mechanism that could trigger the supercells on Friday afternoon near Dallas, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa. The cap, which is a layer of warm air aloft that prevents storms from forming, is expected to erode by late afternoon. Once that cap breaks, the explosive development happens fast. You can go from blue skies to a severe thunderstorm warning in 20 minutes. Let us talk about the temperature anomaly again because it is staggering. We are looking at temperature departures of 25 to 35 degrees above normal on Friday afternoon in the Ohio Valley. Places like Louisville, Kentucky, and Cincinnati, Ohio could be flirting with record highs. This heat is energy. It is potential energy waiting to be converted into kinetic energy by the storms. But what goes up must come down. The backside of this system brings a reality check, but not immediately. The cold air is lagging behind. This means the severe threat could linger into Sunday for the East Coast. Sunday looks tricky. The main energy lifts north into Canada, but the trailing front will still be active. We could see a line of showers and storms moving through the Carolinas, Georgia, and northern Florida on Sunday. The wind shear will be weaker, so the tornado threat should be lower than Saturday, but damaging winds will still be a primary concern. There is another element to this pattern that we haven't discussed yet, the cut-off low potential. Some models are hinting that the energy might get trapped or cut off from the main flow. If this happens, the system moves slower. Slower movement means more rain and a prolonged severe weather event. It also means the flooding threat increases significantly. We are also watching the 500 millibar vorticity. Vorticity is essentially spin in the atmosphere. We are seeing a very potent packet of vorticity rounding the base of the trough on Saturday. This enhances vertical motion. It is like adding a turbocharger to the engine. This is why Saturday looks like the peak of the event in terms of coverage and intensity. Now, I want to take a moment to speak directly to those of you in the marginal risk areas. Maybe you are in Chicago or Detroit or perhaps Charlotte. You look at the map and see you are in a level 1 out of 5 risk. You think it is no big deal. Do not fall into that trap. Marginal does not mean zero. It means the severe storms will be more isolated. But if one of those isolated storms hits your house, it is a level 5 event for you. For example, on Thursday, there is a marginal risk extending all the way up into the Midwest. A single rogue storm in Illinois could produce hail large enough to dent your car. A single wind gust in a collapsing storm in Michigan could bring down a tree on your roof. Treat every risk level with respect. Let us pivot back to the timeline for the weekend. Saturday morning, showers and storms ongoing in the Missouri Valley. These are likely elevated, meaning they are not rooted at the surface, so the severe threat is lower, mainly hail. Saturday afternoon, the atmosphere destabilizes in the warm sector. Sun breaks out in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Kentucky. This heating is critical. If we stay cloudy, the threat is lower. If the sun comes out, the energy spikes. Saturday evening, storms initiate ahead of the cold front. This is the prime time for supercells and tornadoes. 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. is the danger window. Saturday night, the storms merge into a squall line or a QLCS quasi-linear convective system. The threat transitions to damaging winds and spin-up tornadoes. This line races east into the overnight hours. This is a dynamic situation. The models will flip-flop. They will change. One run will show a massive outbreak. The next will show a bust. That is normal. Do not get attached to one single model run you see on social media. Look for consistency, and right now the consistency is pointing toward a significant severe weather episode. But there is a twist coming, something lurking in the long-range data that could make this weekend look like Child-esque play. We are seeing signals for a much larger, more potent system around March 10th to the 12th. This next system has the potential to be a true panhandle hooker. That is a classic storm track that originates in the Texas panhandle and hooks northeast toward the Great Lakes. Climatologically, these are the systems that produce the most significant severe weather outbreaks in the United States. The long-range Euro and GFS ensembles are both sniffing this out. They are showing a massive trough digging deep into the western U.S., ejecting a powerful jet streak across the plains. At the same time, the Gulf of Mexico will have had days to recharge. The moisture will be rich and deep. If this verifies, and I stress if, we could be talking about a higher-end severe weather event next week. But first, we have to get through this week. Now, I am going to give you a specific checklist, a survival guide for this specific type of weather pattern. This is not generic advice. This is tailored to early spring severe weather. Number 1. Check your trees. The ground is thawing and becoming saturated. Root systems are weaker. A wind gust of 40 miles per hour that wouldn't budge a tree in August can topple a tree in March because the soil is mush. If you have a tree leaning toward your house, this is the week to be worried. Number 2, clean your gutters. I know, it is a chore. But with the heavy rain forecasted, clogged gutters lead to basement flooding. The leaves from last fall are still in there. Get them out before Wednesday. Number 3, secure loose objects. The pressure gradient winds I talked about, they will blow your patio furniture into the neighbor's yard before the storm even hits. Trampolines are notorious for becoming kites in this weather. Anchor them down. Number 4, know your safe place. It has been a while since severe weather season. You might have stored Christmas decorations in your storm shelter or your interior closet. Clear it out. Make sure you can fit your family and your pets in there comfortably. Number 5, have multiple ways to receive warnings. Do not rely on outdoor sirens. They are meant for people outdoors. They are not designed to wake you up from a dead sleep in a brick house with the air conditioning on. Use your phone, use a weather radio, use the TV, have redundant systems. Let us talk about the snow lovers for a second. I see you in the comments asking, is winter over? For the next 10 days for most of the country, the answer is yes. The pattern is torching. But do not pack away the heavy coats just yet. The atmosphere has a memory. We often see a compensation after a massive warm spell. The models are hinting at a pattern flip mid-month. The polar vortex is showing signs of disruption. If that cold air unloads, it could collide with the moisture that is already in place. That is the recipe for late March blizzards. So while you are enjoying the 70-degree weather this week, remember that March is a volatile month. It is the month of extremes. Lion and lamb, and right now the lion is roaring. We are also watching the river levels. The Mississippi, the Ohio, the Arkansas River, all of them are going to take a drink this week. Minor to moderate river flooding is possible, especially in the tributaries. If you live in a flood-prone area, move your valuables to higher ground now. Let us re-examine the Friday threat for the Central Plains because new data is trickling in. The HRR model, which is a high-resolution short-term model, will start coming into range soon. But for now, the NAM model is showing a very sharp dry line. The CAPE values, or the energy values, on Friday could exceed 2,000 joules per kilogram in eastern Oklahoma. For March, that is significant. But the shear is the main story. We have 50 knots of deep layer shear. That is more than enough for supercells. The main hazard on Friday might actually be hail. We have very steep lapse rates. That means the air gets cold very fast as you go up. This allows hailstones to grow large without melting. We could see hail the size of baseballs if the storms stay discreet. Imagine a baseball falling from the sky at 100 miles per hour. It destroys roofs, shatters windshields, and kills livestock. This is not just a dent in the hood situation. This is structural damage. If you are in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, or Wichita Falls, Friday afternoon is the time to have your car in the garage. If you don't have a garage, find a parking garage, or use heavy blankets to cover your windshield. I want to pivot back to the reward I mentioned at the beginning, the specific timing for the big cities. Let us recap the critical windows so you don't miss it. Dallas, Wednesday 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., Thursday 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Friday 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., Oklahoma City, Wednesday 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., Friday 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Little Rock, Wednesday overnight, Friday overnight, Saturday afternoon. Nashville, Saturday 6 p.m. to midnight. Atlanta, Sunday morning. Notice a trend? The threat shifts east each day. It is a marching army of storms. We are now diving deep into the next phase of this analysis. If you missed the first two parts, you missed the critical timing for over 100 cities. But do not worry, because what I am about to share is arguably more important. It is the hidden threat that most forecasts gloss over. I am talking about the long-range pattern and the specific flood risks that could catch you off guard, even if the severe storms miss you. Let us zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The Global Ensemble Forecast System, or GEFS, is painting a picture of a highly amplified pattern as we head into mid-March. This means the jet stream is going to take massive swings north and south. When the jet stream buckles like this, it slows down weather systems. Slow-moving systems are dangerous because they dump torrential rain over the same areas for days. We are looking at a potential blocking pattern developing over Greenland. This is often referred to as the North Atlantic Oscillation going negative. When high pressure blocks the flow over the North Atlantic, it forces cold air to spill south into the eastern U.S. But here's the twist. The southeast ridge is fighting back. This battleground between the cold block to the north and the warm ridge to the south is exactly where we expect the storm track to set up. So, while you might be enjoying the warmth now, the pattern suggests a turbulent transition around March 10th to the 15th. We could see a series of storms riding along this temperature gradient. One model run shows a significant snowstorm for the Midwest during this period, followed by another severe weather outbreak for the South. It is a classic March roller coaster. Now let us talk about the flood threat in detail. The Weather Prediction Center has outlined a slight risk of excessive rainfall for a large swath of the Mississippi and Ohio valleys, but I want to focus on the local level. In the Ozarks of Missouri and Arkansas, the terrain plays a huge role. The steep hills and narrow valleys funnel water incredibly fast. A thunderstorm that drops 2 inches of rain in an hour can cause a creek to rise 10 feet in minutes. If you are camping or hiking in the Ozarks this weekend, you need to be extremely cautious. Do not camp near dry creek beds. They can become raging rivers while you sleep. In the urban areas like Memphis, Nashville, and Louisville, the concrete jungle exacerbates the flooding. The drainage systems in these older cities can be overwhelmed quickly. We saw this last year, cars floating down streets, basements filling with sewage. If you live in a low-lying urban area, now is the time to clear your storm drains. A simple rake can save your neighborhood from flooding. The soil moisture anomalies are also concerning. Parts of the Deep South are running well above average for soil moisture. This means the ground is already saturated. It cannot absorb much more water. Any additional rain will run off immediately. This increases the flash flood risk significantly for places like Jackson, Mississippi, and Birmingham, Alabama. Let us shift gears to the kinematics again. I mentioned the wind shear earlier, but let us visualize it. Imagine a stack of pancakes. Each pancake represents a layer of the atmosphere. The bottom pancake is moving north at 20 miles per hour. The middle pancake is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. The top pancake is moving east at 60 miles per hour. This stack creates a twisting motion. When a thunderstorm updraft punches through these layers, it starts to rotate. This rotation is what we look for on Doppler radar. It is called a mesocyclone. If the mesocyclone tightens and lowers to the ground, you get a tornado. The parameters for Saturday suggest that we could see significant mesocyclones developing in the warm sector across Mississippi and Alabama. The storm relative helicity, a measure of this rotation potential, could exceed 300 meters squared per second squared. Anything over 100 is enough for tornadoes. 300 is alarming. But there is a fail mode to this setup. If the clouds stick around all day Saturday, the instability will be lower. The cap might hold. The cap is a layer of warm air aloft that suppresses storm development. If the cap is too strong, we might just see a few elevated hailstorms and a lot of rain. But if the sun breaks out, the cap erodes and the atmosphere becomes explosive. This is why the cloud cover forecast for Saturday is critical. I want to address the hype factor. You will see thumbnails on YouTube with red arrows and scary fonts screaming catastrophic outcome. My goal is not to scare you. My goal is to prepare you. The data supports a significant severe weather risk, but it does not guarantee disaster for everyone. The vast majority of you will just see rain and maybe some thunder, but for the small percentage who end up in the path of a supercell, the danger is real and life-threatening. This is why situational awareness is key. Do not obsess over the forecast 5 days out. Focus on the day of the event. On Saturday, check the weather in the morning, check it at noon, check it again at dinner. Things change fast. Let us talk about the dry line again. It is a feature unique to the southern plains. It separates dry desert air from moist Gulf air. The dry line is often the trigger for the most violent storms. On Friday, the dry line will sharpen up across western Oklahoma and Texas. If you are in Elk City, Oklahoma or Childress, Texas, you will be right on the edge. The storms that fire off the dry line are often isolated and intense. They have the whole atmosphere to themselves. These discrete supercells are the ones that produce the giant hail. We are talking baseballs, softballs, even grapefruits. I have seen it happen in March. It shreds siding, destroys crops, and can be lethal to livestock. If you have cattle or horses, make sure they have shelter if possible. Now let us look at the warm front on Saturday. This is the boundary lifting north into Kentucky and Tennessee. Warm fronts are notorious for spin-up tornadoes. The friction along the front enhances the low-level shear. If storms ride along this warm front, they can produce tornadoes with very little warning. This is a particular concern for areas like Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Clarksville, Tennessee. The 8 and 50 millibar winds are also screaming. We could see a low-level jet of 50 to 60 knots punching into the Ohio Valley Saturday night. This transports moisture and momentum north. It also creates a hazard for aviation. If you are flying in or out of hubs like Cincinnati, Louisville, or Nashville on Saturday, expect turbulence and delays. Let us bring it back to the solution phase. What can you do right now? Wednesday night. If you are in Oklahoma or North Texas, clear your garage, charge your devices, review your tornado plan. Thursday night. If you are in the Ohio Valley or Midwest, check your sump pump. Make sure it is working. Clear your gutters. Friday morning. If you are in the Deep South, secure loose outdoor items. Monitor the forecast closely. Saturday morning. If you are in the risk area, stay weather aware all day. Have a way to get warnings that will wake you up. I also want to touch on the psychology of severe weather. It is easy to get anxious. It is easy to feel helpless. But preparation is the antidote to fear. When you have a plan, you feel in control. You know what to do. You don't have to panic. You just execute the plan. And for the weather nerds out there, let us geek out for a second on the lapse rates. We are seeing steep mid-level lapse rates of 7 to 8 degrees Celsius per kilometer. This means the air is cooling rapidly with height. This promotes strong updrafts and large hail growth. It is a textbook spring setup. The bulk shear vectors are also favorable. We want the shear vector to be perpendicular to the initiating boundary for discrete storms. If the shear vector is parallel to the boundary, the storms get messy and merge quickly into a line. On Friday, the shear vectors are more perpendicular, favoring discrete modes. On Saturday, they become more parallel, favoring a linear mode. This evolution from discrete to linear is a classic severe weather life cycle. Let us not forget the role of topography. The Ozark Plateau and the Ouachita Mountains can enhance or disrupt low-level flow. Storms moving over rough terrain can sometimes strengthen unexpectedly due to localized uplift. Conversely, they can sometimes weaken if they get cut off from the inflow. It is a wild card. Now I want to talk about the false spring phenomenon. We see this every year. A warm spell in February or March tricks the plants into blooming early. Then a cold snap hits and kills everything. The models are showing a potential freeze for the Deep South around mid-March. If your fruit trees are blooming, you might need to cover them up later this month. Enjoy the warmth now, but don't plant your tomatoes yet. Let us look at the 500 millibar height anomalies again. The ridge in the east is massive. It is 3 standard deviations above normal. This is a significant heat dome. It is forcing the storm track well to the north and west. But as the ridge breaks down next week, the door opens for colder air to spill south. The teleconnections support this pattern flip. The Pacific North American pattern PNA is trending positive. A positive PNA typically means a ridge in the west and a trough in the east. This favors cooler and stormier weather for the eastern U.S. The Arctic Oscillation AO is also trending negative, which allows cold air to leak south. So, while the next 7 days are dominated by warmth and severe storms, the second half of March could look very different. It could be colder and potentially snowy for parts of the Northeast and Midwest. Let us do a quick check on the drought situation. Parts of the Mississippi Valley have been in a long-term drought. This rain is beneficial in the long run, but too much, too fast causes runoff instead of absorption. We need a slow, soaking rain, not a deluge. Unfortunately, Mother Nature is giving us a fire hose. I want to re-emphasize the importance of the cap. The cap is a layer of warm air around 700 millibars. It acts like a lid on a boiling pot. It prevents steam from rising until the pressure builds up enough to blow the lid off. When the cap breaks, the stored energy is released explosively. A strong cap can prevent storms entirely, resulting in a bust forecast. A weak cap allows storms to form early and become messy. The ideal setup for a significant outbreak is a moderate cap that breaks in the late afternoon. This allows instability to build all day and then release all at once. The models suggest this is exactly what might happen on Friday and Saturday. Let us talk about storm mode. Supercells. These are the rotating storms. They are the most dangerous. They produce tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. Squall lines. These are lines of storms. They produce damaging straight-line winds and brief spin-up tornadoes. Multicell clusters. These are disorganized groups of storms. They produce heavy rain, small hail, and gusty winds. We will likely see all three modes this week. Friday favors supercells. Saturday favors a transition from supercells to squall lines. The tornado parameter specifically is lighting up for Saturday evening in Mississippi and Alabama. The significant tornado parameter STP combines instability, shear, and moisture into a single number. Values over 1 are significant. We are seeing values of 3 to 4 on some model runs. This is why I am raising the alarm for the Deep South on Saturday. But remember, models are just tools. They are not gospel. They have biases. The GFS tends to mix out moisture too aggressively. The NM tends to hold on to low-level moisture too long. Forecasters have to blend these models with their experience in climatology to produce a reliable forecast. And speaking of climatology, March is the beginning of the primary severe weather season for the Gulf Coast states. It shifts north in April and May. So seeing this threat in Mississippi and Alabama is right on schedule. It is normal, but that doesn't make it safe. Let us talk about debris balls. If you are watching radar on Saturday and you see a small, round area of high reflectivity at the tip of a hook echo, that is debris being lofted into the air by a tornado. It is a signature of a violent storm. If you see that, you are out of time. You need to be in your shelter immediately. I also want to mention power flashes. At night, tornadoes are often invisible, but when they hit power lines, they cause bright blue and green flashes. If you see these flashes in the distance during a storm, assume it is a tornado and take cover. Do not go outside to investigate. Let us pivot back to the Pacific jet. A powerful jet streak is extending across the Pacific Ocean, slamming into the West Coast. This is the energy source for our weather. As these waves of energy move inland, they amplify the pattern downstream. It is a conveyor belt of storms. The Madden-Julian oscillation MJO is also a factor. The MJO is a disturbance that moves around the globe in the tropics. When it is in certain phases, it can enhance convection in the U.S. Currently, the MJO is moving into a phase that supports a more active pattern for the central and eastern U.S. This adds confidence to the forecast for a stormy mid-March. I want to take a moment to appreciate the technology we have. 50 years ago, we wouldn't have known about this threat until the sky turned green. Now we can see it coming 7 days in advance. We have high-resolution models, Doppler radar, and satellites. We have the tools to stay safe, but tools are useless if you don't use them. So here is your homework assignment. Download a radar app on your phone. Learn how to use it. Find your county on a map. Warnings are issued by county. If you don't know where you are, the warning is useless. Talk to your family. Make sure your kids know what to do if the sirens go off while they are at school or at a friend's house. Check your insurance policy. Does it cover flood damage? Most standard policies do not. you need a separate rider for flooding. Let us talk about the aftermath. After a severe weather event, there are dangers too. Downed power lines are a major killer. People step on them or drive over them. Assume every line is live. Chainsaw accidents are also common during cleanup. If you don't know how to use a chainsaw, don a learn on a chaotic Saturday morning. Hire a professional. Carbon monoxide poisoning from generators is another risk. Never run a generator inside your garage or near a window. We are entering a period of high-impact weather. It is going to be noisy, it is going to be messy, but it is manageable. I promised you a reward every few minutes, and here is another one. The sunset surprise. On days with high instability, the most photogenic storms often occur right at sunset. The lighting is incredible. The structure of the clouds is highlighted by the low angle of the sun. If you are a photographer, Friday evening in Oklahoma could provide some stunning shots. But please, keep your distance. No photo is worth your life. Use a telephoto lens. I know many of you get anxious when you see these maps. That is okay. It means you respect the power of nature, but don't let anxiety paralyze you. Turn that nervous energy into productive action. Build a kit, check your insurance, learn about cloud formations. Knowledge is power, and remember, the vast majority of storms are not tornadic. The vast majority of tornadoes are weak. The odds of a violent tornado hitting your specific house are incredibly low, but we prepare for the worst so we can live our lives with confidence. You now have the complete picture. You know the when, the where, and the why. You know about the false spring, the flood threat, the nocturnal danger, and the potential monster storm next week. You are the expert in your circle of friends now. Share this knowledge. Text your family in the risk areas. Tell them to pay attention. You might save a life just by sending a text. In the next video, we are going to break down that potential mid-March storm system in excruciating detail. Is it a blizzard? Is it a tornado outbreak? Or will it be a bust? The new model data is arriving soon, and it is going to be shocking. I will also have an update on the long-range summer forecast. Are we looking at a scorcher or a washout? You do not want to miss it. Stay safe, stay weather aware, and keep your eye on the sky. I will see you in the next one.